Yet another video from these basement video productions, and yet again another video on this CZ P-10C. Just thought I'd share my opinions and observations on the pistol. Let's put the camera down and start talking. All right. As you know, I use my smartphone for my video camera. So like I say, very high tech. Why another video on a CZ P-10C? Well, this one is the night sight version. Let's see if it's in frame. As you can see, they don't have the luminescent iron sights. These are iron sights, but they are night sights. They have an orange outline on the front and white dot in the back, and of course tritium inserts for a glow-in-the-dark true night sight capabilities. Thus, the video on this particular CZ P-10C. You know, I tried to get this when it first came out. I'm filming this, I'm using my smartphone in January 2018, and I tried to get this pistol, which incidentally, for those of you worried I might shoot my toolbox or the cement wall there, the gun is unloaded. I tried to get this firearm back in March of 2017 when it was first coming out, finally being released to dealers, and it was only available in black. Well, as it turns out, that may have been a good thing, because I wanted to hold out for the flat dark earth, and these were slow to trickle out in my area. I'm in the greater Atlanta area, and they were also hard to come by. Yes, I could have tried to gotten one off a gun broker and paid an exorbitant ransom for one, getting in a bidding war, paying well over the MSRP of $4.99. I chose to wait, and I think my patience was rewarded in this case. I want you to, if you have a chance, check out, let me look at the guy's name here, Earl On. That's Earl, E-A-R-L. His last name is On, A-N. And he has a video, that's the name of his channel, and he has a video out there called Known Issues to Look Out For the CZ P-10C. Excellent video. In it he explains some of the issues the firearm had as it was released, and some of the minor revisions or improvements CZ made during the year to the pistol, without necessarily calling it a Gen 2. Okay, so I definitely recommend you seeing that video. So let's get into a little bit of that. Well, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I got this just before Christmas 2017, and it, as I said, has the factory night sights, and it has a different SKU. Let me look that up. That is, this one is the 91524 SKU. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. See, don't trust everything you hear on YouTube. This version with the factory night sights, the SKU is 91521. Okay, the first FDE pistols that were coming out in the year, SKU was 91524, and those just had the 3-dot luminescent sights. Okay, well, I wanted night sights on mine, and luckily, holding out, the MSRP on the night sight version is only $20 more, $519. But I got this for $499. So I guess it does pay to wait on those new release pistols. The prices do come down, and as you'll see, the manufacturer does make minor improvements. I do get a kick out of their motto or their slogan being improving on perfection, because they literally had to improve on this as the year wore on. Again, referencing that video by Earl On. They basically have worked on the mag drop, both left and right. It flies out of there, and this is, I'm not left-handed, and it has no issues with the mag release, left or right-handed. No issues with the slide release, left. Well, that's right-handed. I don't like slamming my slide home on an empty chamber, but I can just depress that and the slide goes home. So they've taken care of that, and I'll show you what I think they've done on both those fronts. The triggers in these, the first ones, per Earl On, of course I never had an original or an early version that came out. It was a little bit gritty in this take-up, and the reviewers were saying, well, it smooths out over time. Well, this one was smooth to begin with, and that CZ P-10C crisp brake, and try to show you left-handed reset, very short reset. So very smooth, very little resistance, little stacking, and a smooth reset, quick reset. So let's break it down real quick. Breaks down like your Glocks, as the other videos show. Let's again move closer to the camera. One of the big things Earl On had shown was the the back plate can slide down. There's a little bit of play in that. I don't know if that's showing up well. And what had happened to some reviewers was the slide plate moved down and was then getting caught on the back of the frame and not returning to battery. Well, what CZ did was they milled, they now have little angle cuts in the back of this slide plate, this part, which again I'm trying to see if I'm pointing it out well with the lighting as well. And they now, being at an angle, if it has worked its way down and when it's returning to battery, if it hits this, it just pushes the slide plate up and it returns to battery. And that is now something that CZ is doing. The older ones only had that middle leg angle cut. Now this piece on the end's angle cut, and you can't see it here without me taking it off. That is also angle cut. So that is working in that regard in terms of what they've done to improve on their own improvement of perfection, if that makes sense. Again, they were having, some were having difficulty, and I'll see if this will show up. Maybe, I know what I can do. The old flashlight in there, see if that, in the center there is when you depress the mag release. This is not as easy as I thought it was. Now my camera, you see the lever that moves when I'm depressing the mag release. That releases on the front window of the mag. Well, what was happening is the mag release would continue to rotate and hit the mag and get caught on this little red round hole and hang up. The mag wasn't always dropping freely. So they've milled down, if you will, the tip of that mag release. Again, see if I can illuminate it. They've milled down that the tip of that mag release. Again, reference Earl On's video on known issues. That is an excellent video. Something else they've done, or an issue they were having, is right there, the trigger bar was rubbing the locking block, and they've smoothed that out. And this all came standard to mine, but some of the earlier versions. And then while I have it off here, a big one, some of the, let's see if there, that's a good shot. Right there on the side of the locking block is now a tab that's part of the locking block. Let's see if I can put the camera down. It still shows up. Right there, just above my thumb, is a tab. There's a shepherd's hook spring that wraps around the pin, and the top of it would come up. Well, this little tab now keeps that top from popping up. Again, earlier versions don't have that tab on the locking block. So again, ZZ has improved on their own improvement of perfection, because what was happening is the slide, if that spring, the shepherd's hook, the end of that hook would work its way up due to frame tolerances and it protrude up slightly. When you tried to disassemble your slide and bring it forward, that spring was getting caught right there, making it difficult for you to remove the slide from your pistol. So again, ZZ has made that improvement. Let's see, anything else? Check my little cheat sheet here. Oh, and then one of the other things Omaha Outdoors was experiencing was the firing pin could rotate over, and there's very little play side to side in my firing pin, so it's not going to work its way over and potentially get hung up here on the back of the frame. So they've addressed that, and overall, let me get back in front now and try to hold the pistol up. I love it. It's like I said, with factory night sights. So again, as far as that package is concerned, for $499, you get metal sights, in this case factory night sights, and you can't touch a Glock with that in terms of price. You have ambidextrous slide release, slide lock, depending on your own preference and use, ambidextrous out of the box, mag release, and an awesome trigger. This breaks, again, with my very high-tech, you get what you pay for here, and you're not paying for this. My Wheeler trigger pull scale, I'll try to do one real quick here. And yes, I know you're supposed to pull it straight back, but with the trigger you have to start at an angle. And that came in at 4.5, just a little over 4.5 pounds. Again, and I've done it a number of times, and depending on how I hold that on the trigger, I sometimes get a little below 4.5 pounds. So it's breaking it at about 4.5 pounds. Very crisp. Love that trigger. You can also purchase 17-round magazines. You know, this is the 15-round magazine, fitting flush, and then showing you again, nice drop free, and then the 17-round magazine if you like to carry even a couple more rounds in your pistol. So that's my additional, if you will, input on the firearm. I will say I'm an old man, and my eyes aren't what they used to be, and even though that is a nice 3 illuminated with tritium 3-dot sight picture, that orange is hard to, it's not as great or not as prominent as, say, a Trigon HD orange sight, but again, still they've done a great job here. Well, I've yacked for probably 10 minutes or so. I'm going to wrap it up here. My only complaint is it did not fit in quite a few of my Glock holsters. I'll do a separate video on that because that's a little bit of bitching and moaning, but otherwise, great firearm. Thanks for watching.